Hey, how's it going? It's Saturday night. I jumped in a grab car and we're turning onto Rama 4 here and then heading over towards the W District in Prakanong. Heading over to meet a bunch of friends at an old arcade bar called Arcadia. And there's a new spot, little dive bar called the Money Bar. We'll probably end up in there. But it's a beautiful Saturday night. That is Sukhumvit and the W District on the other side. You can kind of make out the W. This is the J Bar Cafe. It's kind of fun. That right there is Rama 4. So right on the corner of Rama 4 and Sukhumvit almost. We're gonna go down this way, just 100 feet or so on the left, Arcadia Bar. And also in the area is the Sukhumvit Plus building. Back when I was doing a lot of research, I saw larger size, I wanna say 50 square meter units, or maybe not quite that big, I'm not positive, but at an affordable rate. It's an older building, usually equals a little bit more space. Some Japanese restaurant. And here we are with the Arcadia Bar, and anybody that's playing Pixies is okay with me. Having a good time. We got about 6 of us. We wandered across the way to the Money Bar, right across from Arcadia. All the guys having a good time. It's about 11 o'clock. I think it's 11. We are still running around. We just came over to Stella's in Prom Pong. It is about 12:30 at night and it must be 100 degrees. It's hot, but I'm still grateful that it is not raining.
Hello.
Welcome to Stella. Welcome to Stella Bar.
Stella Bar and John.
And there's Kwang.
Hello.
I just ordered up a 37 baht motorbike to go the 2 kilometers over to Terminal 21. I need to change my phone plan. I had a 1-year contract to save 300 bucks on the $1,300 Galaxy Ultra, but that just expired. So I'm now going to drop it down to prepaid. I'll just load money on the phone. I'll probably put 1,000 or 2 baht down. And I think my buddy says it's 200 or 220 a month they deduct out of that balance for just the basics. It doesn't, believe it or not, include phone calls, but phone calls are all done on Wi-Fi on the Line app over here. It's a fair amount of 5G data, and that's all I need for the occasional using apps like this Line app. I also just paid my monthly water bill, a whole 36 baht, and my air conditioning or electricity was a little under 1,600 baht, which isn't too bad. I've pretty much had an air conditioner running 70% of the time I'm home. I try to just cool the place down, and because I really don't like air conditioning, I think this is my bike, cool the place down and then just run fans, turn it on every hour or so. All right, so I arrived up here at the Asok BTS. I could have made this easy 2 kilometer walk, but it's the heat of the day. My least favorite time to walk around Bangkok. I will probably do my normal 3 or 4 mile hike here when things cool down, if it's not raining this afternoon, and we haven't had rain 3 or 4 days in a row, so maybe I'll get lucky. But I am running over to Terminal 21 to fix that cell phone plan I have. I don't feel too bad about what I did. I'm not going to sit here and do the math, but I did save about 300 bucks buying the phone by being forced to have that high rate 1,500 baht plan. So even though I'm probably going to switch down to under 300 baht right now, that difference, you got to do the math. At least for the first year, it's kind of a break even. Again, maybe I lost a little, maybe I made a little, but it wasn't horrible. But going into year 2, and hopefully I'll keep this phone 2 years. I really like it. And that's the other thing. I would have did better buying the higher end phone in California, but I never planned to make these videos on my phone. I bought 2 GoPros. I've always had GoPros, but they don't work so well in low light, as I found out. So then I went and bought a really good low light lens for my Sony, and I just hate carrying that thing around. Plus, It goes through batteries like crazy, and you are a little less discreet with a full-size camera and lens, even walking down the street. Where a phone, I just kind of slip in the background and I can make 10 times more content, nice and easy. But I do need the higher end phone with the best camera to capture the low light. And I got stuck buying it over here, which probably cost $200 or $300 more. Well, probably 200 more than the US. So no big deal. I got the higher end phone plan, and now that we're at the 12-month mark, I'm going back down. And everybody's got their personal setup on phones. This is a dual SIM phone. A lot of people will keep a US SIM card in there electronically, say, and then put a Thai SIM. I just use two phones. I know that's a little antiquated, but I have my California phone or my US phone at home on Wi-Fi at all times. I just use that to talk to people in the US for free. I use it for banking and getting OTP numbers and all that. I'm sure you can do it on, is it Google Voice, all kinds of different things. I just pay $50 to T-Mobile. Maybe at some point I'll give that up, but for now it's worth it to me anyhow. And I am going into Terminal 21. I've used that AIS up on the top floor for at least 10 years. They speak perfect English. They understand the tourist needs, you know, coming in with an Australian phone or a US phone. It's no problem. Just make sure the phone's unlocked. If you just bought the phone in the US and you still owe money on it, it might possibly be locked for a certain amount of time. It has to be unlocked, obviously, to put that Thai SIM in. Well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe with a dual SIM phone, it can still be locked. I don't know, but make your life easier and just get it unlocked just in case. And as I was talking about my power bill, another thing to keep in mind, it's not that big a deal, but I did move from a fairly new unit. Maybe it was 3 years old. So the air conditioners were more modern, they were brand new. I moved into a place where there are there's 2006 stickers on my air conditioners. And yeah, I don't think they operate at full efficiency. So I think that's kicking my power bill up a little. Again, 1,500 baht, not the end of the world to have a nice, cool apartment and run those things at least half the time you're in the unit. Oftentimes I'll leave the thing going all night. I'm kind of running into an issue where I might have to call the air conditioner guy. The one in the bedroom, even when I set it down at 18, it's nice and cool for a couple hours. But when you wake up in the middle of the night, it seems like it's just kind of blowing, not fan air, it's still cold, but it's not 18 degrees. The one in the living room, you put it at 18 degrees, it feels like a refrigerator. So I don't know if that's a charging issue or whatnot, but I'll probably tell the landlord, I'm gonna call the air conditioner guy, just come out and take a look at it. I could ask them to repair it and on, but she'd let me basically move in for 3,000 baht under what she was asking, and I would like to carry that into next year, or at least something very similar. So I'm not gonna nickel and dime her for a bunch of $30 bills. I'm sure the air conditioner man won't be that much. If the unit's shot, well, that'll be a different discussion. And with all that said, when you're looking at condos and they all kind of look the same, you don't really care, they're all the same price, go with the one that maybe they upgraded the air conditioners. It's just little things like that that you figure out after you moved in. I would have still moved into the place I got. Once again, she lowered it 3,000 baht, so I wasn't going to keep looking. Maybe even pay 2,000 baht or more just for a newer air conditioner. That doesn't make sense to save whatever extra I'm paying, $30 or $40, because my air conditioner's less efficient. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And the other consideration is my new place is almost twice as big. My old place was 31 square meter, the new one's 54 square meter, I believe. So that's gonna take a harder air conditioning to cool the place down. That's understandable. I have to go up to the top floor. The phone companies, AIS, True, DTAC. Those are the big three here in Thailand. They're all up by the movie theater, top deck. The other issue with the phone last year anyhow was I used it for a Wi-Fi hotspot the better part of a year and a half. So that certainly came in handy, having the unlimited, as fast as it will go, gigabytes on and on. I'm no expert on any of this internet stuff. If it's fiber optic or DSL, it's all kind of the same to me. I lived on a sailboat for years using crummy hotspot on my phone or crummy hotspot from the Wi-Fi at the marina. So anything is better than what I used for the last number of years in San Diego. But I did just get the fiber optic for between 20 and 25 bucks a month, depending on what the bot's doing, and it's just lightning fast. So yeah, I don't need all the unlimited everything on this phone, just the basics. And there is my AIS up here at the movie theater. It's a really nice movie theater here at Terminal 21. If you're staying anywhere in the area, yeah, come in here and enjoy some nice AC. So to review, I pay about $1 a month for water, 36 baht. That's what it's been the past 3 months in a row. At my other condo, I think I paid 60 or 70 baht every other month. So water's cheap. That's taking a couple of showers a day and doing wash whenever I feel like it. Often, small little washing machine, so I don't really stuff it. I've paid as low as 1,000 baht a month for my power, and I've paid as high as almost 3,000 baht at the new place. And I think that was a bit of a one-off. I think they might have even read my meter wrong or something, because that was a lot. This month it went from 3,000 or a little under to a little under 1,500 this month. So I think they might have missed a digit or something and it corrected this month. Whatever. Expect about 1,500 for general expat use of having that air conditioner blowing at least half the time you're in the apartment. If you want to run it 24/7, even when you're not in there, that's not a great idea. These apartments are small and they'll cool down in 10 or 15 minutes, so I wouldn't leave the air conditioner running for 2 or 3 hours that you're gone. But yeah, you're certainly going to pay a lot more if you do so. And for the fastest internet I've ever had, that fiber, it's $20 to $25. Now, health insurance, that comes out of my pension. I'm lucky. I got a really good Blue Cross plan for less than $300 a month. I'm sure the government pays the other $1,000 of whatever that policy costs, but I pay $280. You'll have to factor in a health insurance plan here in Thailand. I know my buddy pays I think about 250 or 275 bucks for a Cadillac policy here in Thailand, but he's young. I think he's under 40. So I would suspect that will go up if you're older. See, here's how I got in trouble, if I did get in trouble. This is the S23 Ultra. I'm on the S22, but you can see there's three prices: 44.4, 43.4, and 41.9. And it depends on, it's in small writing, if you're paying $699, $899, or 1,200 baht a month. So you pay less for the phone and more for the monthly plan. And you know how you use your phone. If you want to watch Netflix and YouTube on it 10 hours a day, yeah, you're probably going to need more than whatever basic plan I'm switching down to. Myself, I don't do any of that. I don't even need the better phone or the best phone that Samsung makes. The only reason I have it is for the camera. I did buy a cheaper $500, I think it was the Samsung A73. Maybe it was $400 or $500, I don't remember. That specs on the camera, they almost match up to the specs on this camera, but the stabilization in this one, especially in low light, is just so much better that I can't believe it's the same camera, even if the specs line up. I don't walk around with a gimbal. It's just kind of a run and gun. But that's kind of why I put out so much footage. I'm just keeping it simple, using my phone. The only thing I carry around is a big battery pack, because even recording at 1080, after an hour or so, the battery's almost dead, so you got to charge that thing up. But with the cheaper A73, maybe it would look the same with a big heavy gimbal, but I don't want to carry that, and that's one more thing to have the battery go dead. And here's one of the larger companies, True. I use True for my home fiber optic, but they're also a major cell phone company. True, AIS, and DTAC. I think I already mentioned that. Those are going to be the three you're going to want to decide from. I'm sure there's a couple of smaller ones, like, I don't know if this MI, maybe they just sell cell phones. I don't know, but there might be some other smaller brands, but stick with the big three and you'll be fine. I did have to bring my passport, and I almost didn't because I keep a color copy in my wallet, but I asked the young lady, hey, would it have been okay with that color copy? And she said, no, always bring your original passport to do any kind of changes with your phone. I'm assuming maybe you could pay the bill without the original passport, but I wouldn't mess with it. Whenever you're doing anything that requires ID over here, if it's banking, exchanging money, dealing with the phone, bring your passport. I don't like to carry it, especially in the rain, but I have a Ziploc bag. I toss it in, and yeah, you just have to do it every now and then. And to be honest, I'm not even sure, I didn't really research it, what I just did. She kind of took over and says, yeah, this is probably best for you. If it doesn't work and you need, if you're watching more YouTube or Netflix than you counted on, you can always change the plan. But I think I only got 1.5 gig of 5G high speed. Then it throttles down. It keeps working, but it throttles down to a lower speed. And I have to pay for phone calls, which I've made 2 phone calls in a year and a half over here. I've probably made a half dozen online, which is Wi-Fi. Again, that Wi-Fi call is going to come off my 1.5 gig, but I don't make a lot of those either. Usually I just use the phone for apps, grab food, grab taxi, that kind of thing. So I think 1.5 gigs is going to be fine, but we'll see. If I need to kick it up to 2.5 gigs, it's not much more. For 1.5, I'm paying 220 baht a month. For 3.5 gigs, it wasn't much more. I want to say it was 300, but let's just keep it simple and see if this works. Now in the United States, yeah, my phone was $100 a month, or whatever it was, 85 bucks. It was expensive, and it was unlimited everything, and sure, it worked. I goofed off all day watching YouTube or Netflix, and I'm not going to be able to do that with this phone, not with 1.5 gigs. That's for sure, but I don't do that anymore. And even if I wanted to sit in a pub and sit there listening to podcasts and all, well, I'm going to have to learn to switch over to the pub's Wi-Fi. I'll do that to have a 220 baht cell phone bill, whatever that is, $6 US. Now I have the AIS app on the phone to do the top-ups or check my balances, all that kind of thing. I just, while I was here, I said, let me just put 2,000 baht in my account. And there was a little bit of miscommunication on my part, but I think she said they'll automatically, every 30 days, just take the 220 baht out. Just don't drop below. In other words, I have 1,700 and something baht on there right now, so do the math on how many 220s I'm going to get out of that. My friend said he let his lapse in air. He was back in the US or something, and he kind of forgot about it. When he got back to Thailand, it said, hey, you have a zero balance, and but the phone number is still there, just top it up. I'm not sure how long they keep that number for you when you don't pay. I would assume a couple of months, but I don't know. I wouldn't risk it. If you're even going back to the UK for a couple of months, I would probably just keep paying the 220 baht. Maybe there's a way to put things on hold at a cheaper rate, but 220 baht, it's $6. I would do that just to keep your phone number. When you come back to Thailand, I must have 100 people that have me on their line and all. I don't want to lose all those contacts and have a different phone number. So to me, it will be worth it if for some reason I'm out of Thailand for a number of months, to just make sure it's paid up front and they're going to deduct that while you're gone, but you'll have to make that decision. And I just checked, all my line contacts are there. When I switched from a Thai phone, an A73, to this phone, the S22 Ultra, I can't remember, I think I lost some of my line contacts, or I know I lost all of my line messages. That I had a bunch of messages saved in line to go back and reference something somebody told me. I know I lost those things, and I tried putting line on 2 phones at the same time, and I was unable to do that. I was told you can't do that. So just keep all that in mind with the line. And that's, like I say, another good reason to make sure this phone number always stays on, even if I'm not in Thailand. Or, yeah, at some point I think they're going to say, this guy's disappeared. He's no longer paying the $220 for the last number of months. If it's 3 months, I don't know what the cutoff is, and you're going to have to start all over with a new phone number. No shortage of places to eat in here, but I'm going to head up to, I think we're on the 5th floor, to the food court. See what floor this is. Yep, 5th floor. Put a little money on the card, and right here, get in line at the kiosk. That's where you're going to put money on the card or get any money remaining on the card refunded. Then head over and get a nice 60 baht meal. So looking pretty good. Chicken and rice, broth, bottle of water. 32 baht for the chicken and 10 baht for the water. Maybe it was 8 baht. Well, I take it back. I just looked it up. I get 3.5 gigabyte of 5G speed. Then it throttles back. So that ought to be enough. I just do a little basic YouTube and Spotify, but not much. I'm not glued to my phone. Well, as in the AAS shop, I did decide to put HBO Go. It's a 3-screen package, so your phone, laptop, TV, unlimited. Now, of course, I'm only with 3 gigs on my phone, so I can't be watching a lot of HBO. But it was cheap. It was 1,200 baht for the year. That's about 33 US dollars. I also have Netflix, which is through AIS, but for some reason that is monthly. I think it's 169 baht a month, which is 450, 460, something like that. So about $55 a year for Netflix, and HBO is 33 bucks. And I've never had HBO Go. I'm not sure. I don't think it's the same thing as the full HBO, but good enough for 30 bucks a year. I just canceled a month or 2 ago my Amazon Prime from the US. I was still paying whatever it is, $15, $16, and just really using it for Amazon movies over here. I can get Amazon, just the movies, whatever it's called, Amazon Video. I think it's $5 or $6 a month. You have to have a Thai phone number and I think a Thai credit card. Things are cheap, so don't lock into some long-term accounts in the US. If you're going to come over here and open a Thai bank account and get a Thai phone number, it's much cheaper. The one thing you need to do is, I tried to do a recurring payment for the Netflix, even though it's a lousy $4. I could not get it to go through. I finally went into Bangkok Bank, explained the situation, and she said, oh yeah, you need to tell us when you want to have a recurring payment. Otherwise, it's in the locked position unless you tell us to open it for your safety, on and on. But I couldn't really believe that, because I got a Bangkok Bank ATM card that was also a Visa, and I had to tell them to unlock it for this monthly charge. But keep that in mind when you're opening your account. Have them unlock the card, or you're going to run into these problems when you're trying to pay your Netflix. I also use Surfshark VPN. It's cheap. I think I bought a 24-month package for, I think it was less than $3 a month. I know a lot of YouTubers push NordVPN. They have a pretty good affiliate link. Probably a fine company. I don't have a link for Surfshark, but it works fine for me. The benefit there is you have that extra firewall protection mixed in. That's one issue. The other issue is with Netflix, and I assume it's going to work the same with HBO. I can change countries if I want to. I'm not a huge TV guy, but let's say I want to watch the UK version of The Office and it's not available on Netflix US in Thailand. I can switch it to whichever country is playing that. Or I'm purchasing HBO or Netflix at a Thai rate, so when I turn the screen on, it's a lot of the same offerings, but it's a lot of Thai movies that I'm not necessarily interested in, so I can just switch that over to US and see what's going on in the US with Netflix. I wouldn't consider the VPN an essential purchase, but for less than $100, I think mine was $75 for 2 years. Yeah, it comes in handy. This Terminal 21 is a pretty cool mall. Each floor is a different country. Obviously, this is the London section, I would assume. And it's going on 4 in the afternoon, so it's going to start picking up with the people getting off of work and coming to the mall, mostly to stay cool, but the food courts are also very popular. These malls are kind of a big deal around Thailand, a real gathering spot, especially for students after school and all. You'll also find all the major banks in these malls. They're kind of a community gathering spot in any neighborhood.